All right, so we should be live right now, but before we kind of get things underway, is there anything that you want to plug or anybody you want to shout out?
Um, my mom for getting me where I am today, teaching me how to play basketball.
Yeah, for sure. And I guess, since you bring up your mom, I haven't asked a question in a long time. I think this is one of the most overdone questions of all time, but I guess not what got you into basketball, but how did your mom, contribute to your basketball career?
I mean, she played basketball at the University of Rice, so she was a baller. And she just taught me how to play, and I instantly fell in love with it. So that's kind of like our bond.
Yeah, that's awesome for sure. And do you follow a lot of women's basketball or not really?
I do. Whenever the women's March Madness is on, I'll turn it on. Whenever the women's finals is on, I'll watch.
Would you say for me, I honestly I don't watch women's basketball too much, but I definitely watch it occasionally, and I would say I have a higher respect for their game, and I almost like watching it more because I feel like it's more of a focus on fundamentals kind of that I like. Do you ever when you're watching women's basketball, does that ever kind of help you in your own basketball IQ or no? Because slightly two different games.
I mean, you can learn just about anything from watching any game. So instead of jumping out the gym like NBA players can do, WNBA players will pump fake you, get you leaning, and hit you with a bounce pass and then a hook shot.
Yeah, definitely. I could definitely see. And I guess you think about it too, let's say you have this crazy long NBA career. Eventually, you're not going to be able to have the bounce you have right now. So it's kind of being able to learn how to score and do things creatively without needing to rely on your athleticism so much is definitely probably a helpful skill for sure.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what LeBron's been doing. The past 4 or 5 years, he's turned up on his 3-point shooting. And
yeah, oh my gosh,
his body's deteriorating, and he got to do something else.
Yeah, I don't even know that 3-point shot is something I feel like I mean, you know how he said the whole thing is chucked it up at the middle thing, the middle rim. I feel like every time that he has that shot, there's someone right on him. He just kind of goes almost like he's in a room, shooting with a mini bat, a Nerf basketball, and just throwing it like that. He makes it look so easy to shoot from the half court line. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I saw, you're wearing a USA shirt right now. And I know you were just at the Team USA camp. So before we kind of get into what the camp was I mean, just how did it feel to be invited to represent your country?
I mean, it was just an honor. Kids dream of being able to play for their country one day, and I got a small glimpse of what that would be like. So when I first found out I got invited, I was beyond happy. I was just jumping around. My mom had come into my room and told me, so it was pretty exciting.
And what happened that day when you found out? Did Coach White call you or something like that?
BJ Domingo called my mom, and then she relayed the information to me. It was just be on a Zoom call at whatever day, and that's when they told us the details of it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And the camp was in Colorado or
Houston.
Oh, Houston. Yeah, I was gonna say somewhere in Texas, but I was saying Colorado. That's why I said it slow. I was wait, actually, was it in Texas? So
it's usually in Colorado.
Yeah, you're right. And isn't there gonna be one in July? I heard too, another thing.
So this one was a mini camp, and then in July we come back again. Everybody comes back for training camp. That's when they make the final selections for the national team.
Okay, so I guess in July, that's where they're gonna pick out some guys that were at the mini camp might get cut.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess maybe we'll kind of talk about what your expectations are for July in a little bit, but I guess for the mini camp, describe to me what the experience was and what you guys did.
Well, I mean, everybody there's elite level, and everybody is really good. So the competition and energy there was just ecstatic. It was really fun to be a part of. I felt honored. The coaching staff was great. I mean, there's so many gold medals among the coaching staff that it's crazy. So, I mean, it's the best coaches in the world. So you don't get better instruction than that. So I was just glad to be part of it, and I learned a lot, and I'm excited for July.
Definitely, and I'm sure you guys played like a lot of basketball, for most of the time. But was there anything like kind of fun off the court that you guys did, or like something that was just more of a for fun kind of thing?
I mean, due to COVID, we couldn't do a lot because we had to quarantine for the first 3 days we were there. But during the meals, like the kids that were there, I felt like we bonded and we all became friends pretty much. Like I learned everybody's name, everybody knew everybody's name, just a good vibe, and everybody became friends.
So, who were some of the players there that you didn't know, you didn't have a relationship, that are kind of like your new friends now?
Um, Jakai Howard, he's 2024.
Mhm.
I've seen him around on social media and stuff.
Yeah.
I never like met him in person, so I got a lot of respect for him. He's good. David Castillo, he's another 2024. Plays on Team Griffin 16s. He's pretty good. Never met him before.
Yeah, that sounds awesome, for sure. And I guess since it was like in Texas, how did you like? Was it? I mean, I don't know. Where I'm assuming you live in like the Dallas area
Yeah.
is my guess. So was it was it like a big drive for you to get there? Like was it kind of honestly was it like kind of easy for you to just get to the camp and everything?
Uh, we just had a few travel problems because they flew us down, but
Oh.
nah, it was pretty easy.
And I know, so Justin McBride, I know he's not like on your team, but he's a part of Drive Nation now. So is that kind of someone that like, you're really tight with, just, he's even at the same camp and you guys are part of the same like AAU organization and everything?
Yeah, him and Justin and Ron Holland
Right.
is too, but I've known Justin since I was like in the third grade because he was cousins with one of my teammates I played with. So I've known him for forever.
Okay. And you did say like in July, you're going to go and it's going to be more like some guys are going to get cut and everything. Is that at all something you're nervous for, or not really?
I mean, of course I'm nervous about it. It's playing for my country, but I love competition, and like I said, the energy there was just great. So it's just so fun to compete against such high level guys.
And it's tough because like those guys, like they're all high level. Like I'm assuming like these are the best guys. Like I don't know if anyone turned down going to the camp. Like I'm assuming these are all the top guys that all the coaches picked. So it's like, like let's say you're trying out for your school's team, you kind of figure out who's not going to make it and like stuff like that. But in terms of that roster, like, you can't really think of guys like this guy isn't as good because this is the best of the best. So it's just like, I guess that'll add maybe a little like stressor because it's like they're picking the best of the best of the best of the best.
There's no definition between the best 12 and the not best 12. Like everybody's good. So just in July, the best 12 are gonna, I guess, are just gonna show up and show out.
Yeah, and I guess I do remember like I spoke to someone that is in 2022, and he was a part of like the Team USA team and everything, and he kind of said it's not even the best 12 players, but also it's like it's like the players that all fit the best together. So they're not going to put, if the best 12 players are all guards, they're not going to make the team all guards. Like they're going to, just cut some of them. Like that's kind of how it's going to work is what I heard.
Yeah, the coaches are like, they have a like strong sense of USA as a family. So if like two kids don't get along together and they're two of the best, they probably won't be on the team because that's not part of USA basketball.
Were you guys like how many hours a day were you guys playing basketball there? Like was it just like all day? Like you guys were just doing practice or what?
So it was one practice in the morning from 10:30 to 12:30, and then another practice in the afternoon from 6 to 8. And then we had meals in between breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah. So like I'm assuming just like it's like the first practice and everything. I mean, what were they possibly doing with you guys? There wasn't more just kind of some fun scrimmages and stuff like that, just to kind of get used to the atmosphere.
We did a lot of drills, a lot of up and down drills, so you could like who was in shape and who wasn't. We did the morning session was more skills, and the afternoon session was more like competition in game situations. So during the first session, we just do like skills or shell drill. But during the second session, we do more like 4-on-4 or 5-on-5 stuff.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm sure your high school practices are completely different from your AAU practices if you guys do have the luxury of practicing. Like, was this Team USA practice? Does this feel like, it's another whole different level of practice besides just the competition?
It felt like the organization of it was like, it was crazy. Like,
yeah.
The coaches knew like little details that I would never have noticed, and like they would explain it to the team. It was just crazy, the instruction that we got.
For sure. And I mean, just wearing like, I don't know if I could even like purchase, like the shirt you're wearing right now, but just like knowing at least you're somewhat a part of Team USA. Like, let's just say, I don't know if like probably be longer. Like, I'll give it like 8 years from now or something like that. You're going to be in the real like Olympics and everything, like going for a gold, or you're on that right pace. It's how crazy to think of that. Like, you're going to be one of those, or potentially could be one of those people.
Man, it's a dream. I've dreamed about it. Kids have dreamed about it before. So I just am so honored to be a part of the small group that's gotten to participate with USA basketball.
Definitely. And I got to talk about you now on the court. I guess give me like a timetable of your playing style. Like, how were you playing when you were, just getting into basketball, and how did you develop into the do-it-all player you are right now?
When I was little, it was just like little basketball. But I started playing competitive AAU in 3rd grade, and I've just played all year, every year, and I've just loved it. So just working with trainers like Tyler Ralph, I work with him as my skills trainer. Melvin Sanders at Sanders Fit, he's my strength and conditioning coach. Just putting in the hours to go where I am today. Just the love for basketball.
And isn't Tyler Ralph, is that the guy that trains, or at least sometimes trains RJ Hampton?
Yeah, he trains a bunch of guys, of NBA and college guys.
Yeah, I just remember from the overtime thing with him, how RJ was saying like, "Oh, this guy is like, like he was like he's still like OD sometimes," is what I heard. So what's it like training with him?
Tyler Ralph, his energy's crazy. He's so vocal, and like he talks with everything he does. Like, hey. So, I mean, the energy in his gym is crazy, and you just get better every time you walk in there.
And I'm curious, like, about yourself, how athletic do you think you are? Do you think you're like a crazy athletic guy in terms of like, bouncing and all that stuff, or do you think maybe slightly athletic? Like, where would you rate yourself on like the athleticism scale?
I wouldn't call myself Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, for
sure. But yeah, I'm pretty athletic. I'm long, I'm tall, I can jump high, run fast.
Yeah, and I gotta ask, like, I mean, I didn't even realize like it was you. I remember I asked one of the guys on your team, I was like, so like, who's the most famous guy out of you three? And they all pointed to you. And I looked at you, and I just laughed. Like, I thought they were like, just messing around, making a joke. I thought it was just this random guy on the team, barely gonna play, and all of a sudden, like, I get blown away, like, watching the game. Do you get a lot of looks from other teams? Like, they kind of think, you just suck, and then all of a sudden you're like crazy good?
I mean, that's what I love about basketball, because looks don't mean anything. So when you step on the court, you're just a basketball player.
Yeah. However, like, you are 6'7", so it's not like you don't look like a basketball player. I don't know. I feel like it's almost like the face, like your facial expression, like off the court. You can just tell, like, oh, this guy is gonna be a beast. Like, you just look like just a normal kid, like just a normal tall kid that's decent at basketball, and it was crazy.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I mean, you're in the class of 2024. Haven't interviewed too many freshmen. I've interviewed like a handful, but obviously that's like the least amount of, I guess, players I've interviewed. What was your first year high school basketball like?
I mean, it was a lot different than 8th grade AAU, just because you're playing against 16, 17, and 18-year-olds for the first time in your life. So the adjustment to that took some time, but then I got a hold of it. The coaching in speed of the game is different too. Like AAU is super fast, but high school basketball is a lot more slow in sets and stuff like that.
And I think this is kind of an interesting question. I'm going to assume AAU is harder, but like thinking about it, which one's harder? Is it playing AAU basketball where you're playing just against all these kids that are the same age as you, but then they're all like the top kids, or is it high school basketball where you're playing guys that are all like older than you, and I'm sure a handful of them are bigger than you as well?
They're harder in different ways. So AAU basketball is like players are a lot more talented, of course, because they practice basketball every day. But in high school, it's like there's just like the atmosphere of the crowd, the defensive sets that you have to play against, the offensive sets you have to play against. It's just like almost a whole different game.
Yeah, I guess you could say like AAU basketball is more, harder in terms of like you gotta be more like you have to be a better individual basketball player. Than in high school, it's more like all the mental aspects and your basketball IQ is kind of the little harder aspect of that, just because you're practicing every day. Besides when you have a game, and you're throwing all these sets, press breaks, defenses, like all that stuff.
Yeah.
And being a freshman, I said that again, but like, how did your high school start off like normally? Like were you going to school, or when you did show up to school, was it kind of tough for you because you're a freshman and everything?
So we started off the year where everybody was virtual, and then halfway through the first semester, everybody came back. So I was in person. I mean, I hated wearing a mask for all day, but I mean, I lived through it. And then halfway through the second quarter, I went back to virtual because you could decide, because I didn't want to be quarantined for basketball. So that's what most of the basketball team did. We all quarantined, so we all went virtual, so it didn't get quarantined.
Yeah, that's definitely smart for sure. And just what about like, I mean, for you, you're 6'7", so I feel like it's a little different. But I remember like, I don't know why this was like a monumental day for me, but I'll never forget like just showing up to high school. I was so nervous. Like I remember I was like shaking walking into school. Like all the kids were like so much bigger. Like I remember 8th grade, it felt so nice just to be like the boss of the school. And then I remember walking in freshman year, and I was like, holy crap! Like I'm like I feel like I was like an adult like already. Like I was like blown away by like everything. So for you, kind of like walking into school on the first day, like was it at all a little nerve wracking for you a little bit, or not really?
Yeah, because I had no clue where to go. I could not find my classes.
Yeah. It actually like I feel like middle school though like prepares you a lot for that. Like I don't know how your middle school worked, but like high school in that aspect was actually like pretty easy. Yeah, but in middle school though, I walked into like the wrong classroom. I think like once. That was I mean it wasn't terrible, but it was definitely a little bit funny. But the way my high school set up is it's a really big school, but it's like so simple. It's like I guess 2 big buildings, and the first floor is called like the first floor of one building is called like the 300s building, another one's called like 100s building, and that's like 200s, 400s. So then you just see the number, and then it's on that floor, and you just kind of gotta like just walk around the whole floor, and it obviously is like in a number order kind of thing. So it's not the hardest thing in the world.
My junior high was just 4 big hallways with 2 stories, so everything was easy to find. But my high school was so complicated.
Yeah, and someone with high school too. I mean, I'm sure it was definitely different this year, but high school football and football in general, that is what. All due respect for basketball, and obviously, you're a great basketball player that lives in Texas, but I mean. High school football is a whole other beast, I feel like. So at one point or another, were you ever playing football?
No, I never played football. Just never wanted to get injured. Always wanted to keep playing basketball.
Yeah, but I guess like being, like you never, like not even when you were like in elementary school, you never played like, football maybe allowed during recess or anything?
I played flag football, of course, but never tackle football.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you were playing like flag football and like all that stuff.
For sure.
Yeah. Because I was gonna say like there's just no way you grew up without playing football, like some sort of football ever.
Yeah, it's a culture in Texas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but so I guess once you like realize, because I think that that's like a mature thought. Like for a high schooler, I understand. Like, yeah, it makes sense that they're thinking that. But if you're younger than high school, I think it's like a very mature thing to think about. Like, I don't want to risk my body getting injured. So once you kind of realize, like, football is really a big risk on your body. Not even just if you want to be a good basketball player, but just like all the hits to your brain and stuff like that. So once you figure that out,
My grandpa, actually, when he was in high school, he never played football, but he came out for one game, and it was on a punt return, and he tore his knee up on it. And he had offers from all these schools, and then they all pulled back, but luckily TCU still kept it. So he played at TCU without an ACL.
yeah. Wait. So I thought you said that your grandpa like never played, but he had like a bunch of offers.
He played at TCU.
Oh no. Oh.
For basketball.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. That makes a lot more sense. I was like, I was like, he never played football, and then all of a sudden, how like shows up like and has like tons of offers. I was so confused for a second.
He had a bunch of basketball offers.
Yeah.
And when he tore his knee up playing his one game of football, it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it.
So you said like your mom played basketball. Then you said, oh, like your grandpa was at TCU, which I know back then. Like I don't even know if it was even a Division I school, but obviously now it's considered a very, very good, high major school. Just what's it like living in a basketball family?
So my great grandfather played at Tulsa University. My grandfather played at TCU. My mom played at Rice, and my uncle played at Baylor and SMU. So basketball has just been like a family tradition. So I'm trying to uphold it.
Yeah. So is that, like when you guys are hanging out as a family and everything, is basketball, is that something that comes up a lot like in discussion, or do you guys usually like not even talk about that most of the time?
Basketball is part of every single conversation we have when we come together as a family. It's just everybody loves it, so it's hard not to talk about it.
Yeah, and what about in terms of like competitiveness atmosphere, whether it's like family game night or something like that, or are you guys, I guess, a very very competitive family since majority of you guys are all like high major athletes?
Yeah, we're pretty competitive, but whenever we play card games or something, it gets pretty intense.
Yeah. And I guess someone I was thinking, well, what's like your favorite? I don't know. This kind of like a weird question, just because like honor Memorial Day, salute, respect to the veterans and everything. But it's like a barbecue holiday, like something that people do to celebrate. What's like your favorite like backyard kind of game? Are you like a cornhole guy, spike ball, like I don't know, something like that?
I think I'd have to take myself over almost anybody in cornhole.
Yeah, man. I was actually, so the reason why we started, like I sent you the link a little bit after I guess 6:30 your time was because I was playing with my dad. Man, I lost. It was a heartbreaker. Man, I was up at like decent leads. It was a game of runs, and then he beat me. We go 21 win by 2. Just count how many times you get in the hole, and I lost 18-21. It was no 19-21. It was a heartbreaker. I've been doing so bad recently. It's crazy.
Nail biter, huh?
Yeah, but the bat, like, I mean, I feel like the professionals obviously don't have it easier, but the bags they use are like ginormous. Like they use these like big bags, like it's crazy.
Yeah, they like whenever it like comes on TV randomly, they just think them every single time.
Yeah, that's why like I think I know more about cornhole than I do about like playing it because I was up like I don't know why I was like I should have just went to bed, but I was like watching TV. And first I saw like, it was like a little bit of spike ball and cornhole was on. I learned all the terminology, like all this stuff. But yeah, that game I used to be pretty good. Now I'm like honestly like a pretty bad slump, but I'm working on it.
Gotta keep shooting in, huh?
Yeah. How do you like, because for me, I think my one disadvantage is I'm trying to play the right way. Like I know how it's supposed to be played. Like I don't stand like in the middle of the thing or behind it. I stand to the side like the professionals, and I give it like it's almost like throwing a frisbee. You kind of gotta bring it like that and throw it.
Yeah.
Like, do you play the right way, or do you just just kind of toss it?
I mean, I'll put a little spin on it if I need to.
Yeah. That's like, and then where do you stand? Do you just stand like, in the middle or on the
Yeah,
side?
on the side of it.
Yeah.
I usually be playing against somebody, so we each get a side.
Oh, as well, because see, my dad and I, we do like, I mean, this is not the professional way to do, but we just take like a different side. Like he'll go one side, I'll go the other.
Okay.
Yeah, but I guess when you're playing on the same side, there's like a whole other like strategy to it. Like I saw, like you could block the circle, put your things on. Like there's a lot of like strategies that go into it, for sure.
Yeah, like knocking your opponent's bag off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what about like in terms of the food? What's the go-to barbecue food? Like is it hot dogs, burgers, like coleslaw, corn, like any of that?
Brisket.
Oh,
Brisket.
Yeah, I guess I mean my dad's not like the greatest like barbecuer. Like what kind of basic? Like I guess like your barbecues are pretty like legit.
Yeah, we all go over to my uncle's house and he has a grill called the Green Egg and he's pretty talented with it.
Yeah, we're not. I mean I guess my uncle's kind of like that, but no, we're not. I won't even be like into it too much. I don't know. Like actually, I had ribs once. I mean they were pretty bad ribs, so. Can't say it was a good experience, but I'm not like the biggest rib fan. I guess you could.
Got to come down to Texas to get some barbecue.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I'm always like I'm a more of a barbecue chicken kind of guy. I guess you could say. Yeah, that's what I usually get. But since you do live in Texas, I usually ask this to Texas players. Whataburger place is pretty good. I don't know what's your take on it.
That is the best burger fast food place you can go to.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Actually, yeah, no, that place it was very good. There was something I liked about it, but I forgot what it was. Like, I think it was maybe like they did it was either the fries or the drink. Like something about it besides the burger was like, oh no, I think it might have been the mustard they put on the burger. The amount of it was perfect. It was very good. I saw it in Florida actually. It was in Tallahassee, and I'm like I wasn't even hungry, but I saw it like I had to get it because I knew it was gonna be good.
I actually had a Whataburger for lunch.
Oh, okay. What's like? I'm probably never gonna have Whataburger for at least a few years now, unless I go to school in Tallahassee at FSU. But what's your go-to order?
My order is a number 2. That's a double meat. So okay. A number 2 with cheese, ketchup, and pickles only, with a large fry and a large chocolate shake.
All right, yeah. So the milkshakes are pretty good there.
Yeah, they have you might have heard about the Dr. Pepper shake.
No. Is it new or what?
It's just not good. Stick to vanilla or chocolate.
All right, it sounds good. I'm actually I would
trust me.
If you didn't tell me that and I was there, I probably would have tried it. I'm not gonna lie.
Trust me on this one. It's chocolate shake is better.
Yeah. So have you tried it or are you going off like people's opinions?
I've tried it a few times and it just tastes wrong. It tastes like it shouldn't be a milkshake.
Yeah, it does sound very weird, but I'm not gonna lie. Like that, I think I might. All respect to you, but I might not. I might not listen, but definitely sounds. Yeah, it definitely sounds pretty interesting. But you bring up like the like large fries, like chocolate shake and everything. Like how much do you eat?
For breakfast every morning, I actually have a pack of sausage.
Okay.
Pack of chicken sausage. So, and then I'll have a snack in between lunch, and then I'll have lunch, and then I'll have a snack in between dinner, and then I'll have ice cream after dinner every single day.
Yeah. So are you like? I guess are you a bit like? Do you enjoy eating, or do you more do it because like you're an athlete?
No, I love eating. I love food. I would eat all day if I could.
Yeah. So I'm wondering, like, when you eat, is it more because you want to just get, bigger and stronger, or are you genuinely like hungry and need food?
I'm genuinely hungry and I just like tasting food.
Yeah. So it's like a little bit of both. Like sometimes, you just want to eat, but you're not hungry, and other times, like, you need to eat.
I mean, of course, when I'm hungry, I'll have like a protein bar I know I should eat. Just get protein, but I usually just eat to eat.
Yeah, and I mean the ice cream. You said I'm assuming you're very into ice cream, and you kind of expressed that with the whole milkshake thing. How it was not that good. So I know you definitely have, I guess, a thing for like sweets and stuff like that. What's the go-to ice cream that you usually have?
Dutch chocolate by Bluebell.
Okay, now, I'm not so you like chocolate. Oh yeah, so you like chocolate more than vanilla?
I used to be vanilla. Vanilla's great. Vanilla's great. I used to be vanilla, but then chocolate got me.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely I like, of course, I'll have like chocolate ice cream, but like if I had to pick, like I'm definitely a vanilla guy still. I actually I was the opposite. I was a chocolate guy, and now I'm more of a vanilla guy.
Mm.
Yeah, but my favorites are I'm a big coffee ice cream guy.
Coffee ice. I don't
Coffee
like coffee. I don't drink coffee.
No, I love like, I mean, I don't really drink coffee too much, but like I love the flavor of coffee and everything. Like I usually get coffee ice cream a lot.
I couldn't do it. It's too bitter.
Yeah, well, it's ice cream, so it's pretty sweet. So it's not really bitter at all. But I don't know. Do you have it all like Italian ice, or do you ever eat that ever?
I don't think I've ever tried that.
Oh no, there's like, I mean, I think I probably had like, because there's like this Italian ice place called Jeremiah's, and when I get there, it's like Italian ice and soft serve ice cream like combined. Not until so it's like like soft serve like the layers. I probably had that like at least once a week for like all of May. So I've been going crazy on that stuff. That stuff is insane.
Gotta keep the streak, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I thought I was getting old, and then like we just keep going back. Like first, like I was always going with my family, and I was with my friends Friday, and then they're all like, "Oh, like, let's go to the place." And I didn't want to say like, "Oh, I eat this place every week. Let's go someplace else." I'm just like, "All right, fine." Went and had the same thing again. Like it's crazy. Yeah, but bringing it back to basketball. Your sophomore year next year. I'm assuming things are really kind of getting back to normal and everything. What do you think? What adjustments are you trying to make yourself even better in terms of for high school basketball?
I'm just gonna try and bring what I learned from AAU this year and from Team USA basketball camp. I'm just trying to bring what I learned from those two things and just continue to make myself a better basketball player.
And since you like, I guess we kind of maybe established high school basketball involves a lot more learning plays and sets and more of the IQ and everything, and like learning how to play. And so every team has their special defense and offense and all that stuff. So I guess it's maybe working on your I guess IQ and leadership, something you're trying to bring now more into your sophomore year.
On my AAU team, I've tried to like take a leadership role. I mean, we've got some other leaders on the team, of course, but I tried to take like one of the main leading roles. So, I mean, that's good. That's good to bring over to the high school season.
And obviously, like you're an insane player, so I'm sure that's the hardest thing to get respect from guys in your AAU team. But I feel like being a leader on a team where all these guys are probably considered the best players, like or one of the best of their own high school. How hard is it to be respected as a leader on a team amongst a bunch of leaders, basically?
Well, my Drive Nation team, I mean, we're all friends like off the court. We'd be chilling together off the court. So there's no major conflict between us when we play. So it's just like friends playing basketball together.
And do all you Drive Nation guys do you guys all live in the same area and like face each other like throughout the whole season?
I've faced a few of my teammates through the high school season, but not all of them.
So is that like I guess the more like are those the games you always want to play? Like do you always look forward to playing against your teammates or does it not really matter like too much?
I don't think it really matters to me. I'm just gonna play the same.
Yeah, I feel like it is like always more fun though when you like kind of get a beat or like play it because you want to show them like this is what I'm like when we're not on the same team and stuff like that. I always feel like it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean Peach Jam. It's gonna be 1 week, July or not even a week. How many days would that be? 12 days, July 13th to the 25th. I mean that thing is gonna be like extremely hard to win. Like I don't even know how that thing's gonna go down. It's probably gonna be very, very difficult. How do you think you guys are gonna handle that challenge of just like almost a big giant March Madness of UIBL?
Well, my Drive Nation team. We've lost 2 games. We're 21-2. We're 22-2 this AAU season. So, I mean, we're confident we're going to come into it with high expectations and hopefully bring out a championship.
Yeah, but I guess I feel like the tough thing is I don't know if it's going to be like a literal bubble, but like the NBA bubble, because I'm a Heat fan, so obviously people are saying like last season was a fluke. Maybe it was, because this season nowhere near like the bubble. I'm a little bit disappointed. So I think that there might be maybe some characteristics where it's like it was just 1 week. It was really different from what UIBO usually is. So how you handle those challenges of maybe some teams are going to have some, like you're just going to catch them coincidentally on a good game, and you're going to have to kind of handle some of those bubble challenges. How will you guys deal with that?
So I'll probably try and diminish that as much as I can by trying to keep the team together and like not stay up too late, not stay on the hotel too late. So, and actually right after the Peach Jam, I have to go to the Team USA campus.
Oh, okay.
So I come home for 2 days and then have to fly out to Houston again.
Yeah. So I guess, are you gonna like would you say you enjoy traveling like that, or do you think that's a little bit like a little bit too much travel?
I'm a homebody, but I'll travel anywhere for USA basketball.
Yeah. I guess that's a good point. You can't really like turn down that opportunity for sure. But I saw when I was talking about the Heat, like I saw you kind of make a little face. Like I know you were at the Dallas Mavericks game yesterday. So actually, let's kind of talk about that. How did how fun was that? I feel like it's always fun when you're going from a trip and you're a little sad, but then you got something fun to look forward to. Just how enjoyable was that going from Team USA instead of coming home and be like depressed, like you just left Team USA, which is probably awesome. You got to go to a Mavericks game, which they did lose, but still, you got to go to a Mavericks game. So was that just like a lot more fun because you were like on like a basketball high, I guess you could say?
Yeah, I mean, of course it was fun. It's just basketball. Yeah. So I was at the banner raising after the Mavs won the championship when I was super little. Okay. But that was the first playoff game I've ever been to for an NBA game. Oh, wow. So like that was also like the first time I'd been back with fans since COVID. So it's kind of cool to see the energy. It made me happy.
Yeah, it really is crazy. Like, of course, I feel like things aren't completely normal, but like it's been very nice to see. Like, I'm looking at some of these gyms and it's like it feels like nothing ever happened. Like it's of course like the virus is still pretty bad, so it's like maybe there will be a little more precautions. But I don't live in these states, so I don't really care. Like it makes it nice for me to watch on TV and see packed arenas. It definitely feels good for sure.
Yeah, it's a good look. It was good to see.
Yeah. So the game, I kind of forgot. Was it close or was it just a blowout?
It was a blowout. Mavs couldn't hit a shot. Clippers could hit shots.
Yeah.
But
all due respect, because I was thinking like, so we have the Lakers and the Suns are 2-2, and then I guess now this one's 2-2 as well. But I think that's it. Like every other series is pretty bad. So I'm assuming like Utah takes care of business tonight and the other team too. So all due respect to you being a Mavericks fan, that's cool and all, but I was happy the Clippers won just because I can't just have one good series. I need like at least like a couple good things to keep track of.
This first round has actually been really, really fun to watch. Just all throughout.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely been fun, but then it's like once you get down 3-1, of course the Warriors blew 3-1 lead, but it's like that is something really difficult for a team to overcome and everything. So it's like the games have been close. The series themselves is only like a couple like really, really good series.
I guess that's true.
Yeah. So do you follow like the NBA a lot, or are you just kind of just going to the game because it's like just basketball? So
I'll follow the NBA a lot. Of course.
Yeah. You probably follow it more than I do, but because I honestly I haven't watched a full game honestly like until the playoffs. I still was like barely paying attention.
Wow.
So, yeah. I mean because this is like I feel like if I did basketball, like would you say your whole life basically is basketball all day and then school? Like is that kind of what you do?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, of course I hang out with my friends, but I love basketball, so I do it all the time. Yeah,
that's why I feel like, of course you're good at it. So it's like, a little rewarding when you're playing, but like I suck at basketball, so I'm not going to play and like be proud of myself for how good I am. So it's like basically all day, like I'm talking, you're a basketball player. We're talking about basketball. Then I go on social media. All I follow is basketball. So it's like for me to now turn on the TV and then we watch even more basketball. Like, look, my whole room, you see behind me, and then we talk about cereal puffs, but like it's all basketball. So it's like when I'm watching TV, it's kind of like my little break, I guess you could say.
Mm.
Yeah. So I honestly like I have no idea. I haven't watched like a full Heat game, like really focused on it in ages. Like, man, I consider myself a Heat fan. Like I still buy the merch and everything, but like I don't know. I can't really and they sucked anyway, so I didn't really miss much. But man, I'm disappointed in them though. I have to admit. I thought for sure. I honestly thought they were going to win against the Bucks. I don't think the Bucks would. I mean, I guess I don't watch as much, so I don't know. But I thought they were going to actually handle business against the Bucks.
Didn't Jimmy Butler say he was like stupidly locked in?
Oh, I think he did. Yeah, he did.
He said something like that, and he didn't jump.
Yeah. I heard something on the radio, which the guy on the radio didn't say this originally. He heard something else, but he said someone said like Jimmy Butler is Scottie Pippen with the Michael Jordan mentality. And I think that is definitely true. Yeah, I'm mad we got Victor Oladipo too. I don't think he's like I don't know how good he's gonna turn out to be. Like he's obviously not bad, but like we need like a blockbuster name. So yeah, you think. Man, so you think like the Mavericks? How good do you think they're gonna be like once LeBron somehow starts sucking soon?
Well, Luka needs help. So if they just need one more piece of the puzzle, and I think they'll have it.
Yeah. So I guess they're kind of like the Heat as well. Like the Heat just need kind of one more person as well too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll kind of see where the NBA takes us. But who do you want the Mavericks to win the whole thing, or are you kind of a big?
Of course, I want the Mavs to win the whole thing.
Okay, so you're not at all like so you don't want LeBron to get another one?
No. We need Luka to get his first one, so he stays.
Yeah, man, all due respect, man. I really hope the Lakers take care of business. I think I don't know. I think they got a really good shot. They have the second most odds, I'm pretty sure, against like either the Suns or Jazz. I saw like a betting odds thing, so we'll see. We'll see how that turns out, but I'm just glad it's a series. The Mavericks, if you win in 6, I'll be happy. Just glad it's a series now. But honestly, it's interesting because the Clippers wanted to play the Mavericks, and that happened. So that's kind of unbelievable. Yeah, definitely. All due respect to the Mavericks for sure. But anyways, man, really nice talking to you and everything. It's an honor to be able to talk to someone like you. I guess before we kind of end this interview, just a good question to like wrap the whole thing up. Actually, I'm gonna throw in 2 more questions. One, like more of like a seeing into the future question. When those rankings come out for 2024, I don't want you to be like, oh, I'm gonna be ranked like this player, but is that something you're really gonna lock in on, like something like that about where you're ranked, or are you not really gonna care about that too much?
Rankings are like great acknowledgments, but they don't really mean anything. So no matter where I am, I'm just gonna keep my head down and keep just trying to get better.
Definitely. And then now more just like the good overall questions to kind of wrap the whole interview up. When your career is all said and done, however far you go, or even if you quit like tomorrow playing basketball, just what do you want your legacy to be like?
How I was as a person off the court. So make an impact to my community, make a good change. How I was to my peers and my friends and my family, just as a good image. For
sure. Well, anyways, man, again, really, really appreciate you for your time. It's an honor to be able to talk to players like you. But anyways, man, make sure you guys give us a follow on Instagram at Liam McNeeley. And I'm at Hoops FL. And anyways, for 2024 small forward, Liam McNeeley, I'm Isaac Fleischer. And this has been another Hoops FL interview. Peace out, guys.